your pet write about you in it?
My dogs would probably write that they didn't get enough attention, even though they definitely did.
I feel like for your animals, like their Cooper would do one way and Molly would do another.
Yeah, Cooper might want more attention because Molly just forces her attention upon you. But I do think that, yeah, they would put that they desperately want more attention, even though they constantly are being played with and cuddled with.
I can see Cooper being like, he didn't play with me today.
Yeah, he's got the burger toy, and he just always will have it and then bring it in front of me and just hold it in his mouth and look at me. And a lot of the times, like when he does that, I'll be doing the dishes or something like that, and then I'll be like, Cooper, like, I can't play right now, buddy, but give me 10 minutes. And then of course, when I throw the burger for him, our other dog will chase him and want to play, but he doesn't want to play with the dog. He wants to play with the burger. Yeah. And he wants to play fetch. But we are going to be taking them camping soon. So they always love when we take them camping. They love it out there. Cooper more than Molly because
Molly's a homebody.
Yeah, he loves the water, so he is going to have a blast.
You need to take him and Blaze together because Blaze needs to learn how to love water.
Yeah. We have recently been watching Love Island. We have 2 episodes to go, so we're on episode 15. So we have 16 and 17,
There's
I think.
18, but one of them's After Sun.
Yeah, we don't watch the After Sun crap. But yeah, I'm pretty much caught up. There's still, of course, some drama that's out there, but we're just gonna.
Oh, you haven't. Oh, I can't even bring up one part because I've seen it and you haven't. Dang it.
Yeah. Well, I'll catch up tonight. Probably we'll get all caught up. Me and my fiance have been watching it, but I just want to go through all the couples, and I've got a few things to say about some of them. We'll save Huda and Jeremiah for last, but
Oh, I wish we had like a whiteboard or something.
why?
And we could like do like a yes or a no or something like that, or like write, like do questions and like write like who we think is like some of the questions that they ask on Love Island, we'll do it next segment. I'll do that on next segment.
I want to start with Taylor and Olandria, so cowboy and country girl. Their relationship's very unorthodox. So we just got to the part where they're choosing the doors. Mm-hmm. So, and she locked it for the new bombshell. Jalen, yeah. Which I felt so bad for that guy. That guy's such a nice dude.
So my thought process of this, and I do think they're cute together, but I think Olandria and Jalen would have been way better suited because when she first came into Love Island, and we don't get to see everything that they talk about or what they do or anything, but when she first came into Love Island, she straight up said she wanted like a country boy, like
he's a cowboy,
hardworking. Well, Taylor's a cowboy. He works on a ranch.
Yeah.
But I just felt.
Doesn't he ride bulls?
Taylor?
Yeah.
I think so. I think
he's
he
also I saw he's a Louis V model. Louis Vuitton?
Taylor is?
Yeah. I saw a post on Instagram and it's like him in a
I love I do think that like if you were to choose between Jalen had more of that like hardworking like side, like I'm a man kind of thing, and I'm not saying Taylor's not a man. I'm just the way that Jalen portrayed off. But Taylor, I love his personality and how quirky he is, and I think that shines a lot when it comes to.
She also said, so at first I thought that it was Taylor that wasn't being the physical one, because he talked about that a couple times. But she has come forward and said...
No, she's the one that doesn't like the physical. And when Jalen was very, like, handsy and she didn't like that. Which I give her a lot of respect for coming into Love Island and not just pursuing and going, like, let's see how many people I can kiss or sleep with. And
there was that beaver challenge when she was getting chosen every time pretty much.
But did you see? She was like, come on, please stop. And it wasn't even like they were purposely choosing her. They were just randomly and her beaver just got chosen.
Yeah. No, that was pretty funny. Their relationship, their dynamic is very unique, but I think it's very unique and it works for themselves.
I think they are a great couple together.
Like they're not a typical, yeah, like you said, they're not a typical Love Island like duo. Like I told my fiance, I was like, this dude, he would. I feel like he was, kind of picked out of a box almost, like just out of nowhere, but not your typical selection. He's not like this big, tall, buff dude.
Yeah.
Or
It's kind of like when last season with oh my God, what's his name? His brother is famous.
oh yeah, Odell Beckham, Cordell. That was
Cordell,
his name.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cordell, Taylor reminds me a lot of Cordell.
yeah. I mean,
But Taylor has more
more
of a
country.
quirky personality,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
quirky than Cordell. Also, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Did you see the meme that people are saying about Cordell, or not Cordell, Taylor, Nick, and I think it's Jeremiah. Might be Austin, but
Anyways.
they basically said we went from getting the PBG girls to the Ed and Eddie boys.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I think Austin is in that group because sometimes when he talks, he kind of reminds me of myself. I feel like his like awkwardness. I feel like I'm like that, especially like when I was single, and I feel like I acted a lot like him a little bit.
Just wait until you get to the next episode.
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to say you're going to see something brought out of him, and I royally respect him so much for what he did on that episode.
All right. But we can talk about Austin now. He just switched from Shelly over to Amaya, and then Shelly like came forward and said she was like upset about that. And then I was like, why are you upset about it? You were stringing this guy along for so long.
So there's a theory out there. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a lot of people that, and this is where I jump onto like the Instagram side and like TikTok and stuff. A lot of people are assuming that Shelly and Ace were dating,
yeah.
beforehand. And I think if it is true that they were dating beforehand, before coming on here, I think that maybe Shelly was trying to explore other options to see, but I also kind of feel like it was probably just a staged thing of her doing it, so because she's now so happy with Ace.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as if it is pretty hard to like say like there wasn't something there before, because they even admitted like they met before.
Oh yeah.
And they
also
just
is
said
a
that they
lot of
met
people-
outside of it. Was very vague what they said. They just met outside of a club briefly. They exchanged
Yeah.
information, but nothing ever happened about that.
And this is where like you read into things. It's the people will pull things from everywhere and just assume.
Yeah.
And it could be that they just met at a bar. And they talked for a little bit and that was it.
I feel like every season we get one of those where they assume that they've dated before. 'Cause
Yeah.
we had the one, I don't remember his name. His ex came onto the show. From, I don't know if it was last year.
Oh, it was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Hannah and Marco.
Yeah, that
and
dude.
And Hannah, his ex-girlfriend's name was Hannah.
Yeah. But that dude, they had assumed that those two were dating before the show.
But he
and it
didn't
was
pick
all a
her.
ploy.
He's now engaged now to the other Hannah.
No, yeah. But with Shelly and Ace and then Austin, I'm really happy he chose Amaya, because I said from the get-go when she came in, I thought that the two of them should have got together.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. There's something about Amaya that I just can't pinpoint. Like,
she doesn't shut up.
well, that's one thing, but she also gets attached so quickly. I feel like there's more to the Ace and Amaya situation that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, fair. Because I thought it was crazy. He's just up and left to sleep at Soul Ties. I was like, dude.
I think there's more to it, because like him getting bothered by her saying babe, I feel like was just the topper of the cake. I feel like there's more that, because they kind of like,
they also, their personalities didn't match. She's very like,
he's
talk,
strong-headed,
go.
he's strong, and she's strong-headed.
See, I thought it was like he's more just like kick back, chill vibe, and she was just more like yap 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 yap, which works
Well, how
with
does that
Austin
does it?
because they're both like very high energy people. I think that it'll work with them. Um, but yeah, I it didn't make sense to me when Austin went to open the door, or when he chose the doors, and then Shelly found out that he chose Amaya. I was like, why is Shelly mad? You can only pick one person, and she did not pick him. So she wanted him to pick a locked door. Like, that's kind of messed up. Because if he would have picked Shelly's door, it would have been locked because she picked Ace.
So I kind of have a theory. I kind of am curious because if you notice that Shelly was texting also on her phone
They're allowed to, yeah.
after Austin chose Amaya, and I kind of am curious if she actually originally picked Austin and then switched her vote and said, can I please have Ace?
My fiance said when Ace came up that she looked very sad on her face before he actually opened the door. Obviously it was unlocked. I don't know if they were able to switch their thing though.
I don't know, but to make it like better for the viewers and stuff, I could see them being able to, because there's a lot of behind the scenes that we don't get to know or see. But also it could be that she originally maybe felt like Austin was going to pick her. Because she was also very suspicious about it right before the coupling happened because of the fact that Amaya and Austin up in the Sultai area.
Yeah, and she also didn't see Austin and Amaya up in Sultai.
She did.
No, she was down underneath. Across the way where everyone was seeing was like Hannah when she kept like shouting like
Oh, I thought
and everyone kept being like, bro, shut up. Like, because she was kind of ruining.
Well, but Amaya's also not quiet. So they probably heard her laughing. And it's not like they were doing anything bad. It was just.
But when they first met, I thought that they were going to be a good couple together. Amaya and Austin. Yeah.
No, I agree. When they were doing the
just
yoga,
didn't have a vibe together, what I saw.
I think Shelly was just closed off more because of Ace. Because
they also never kissed. Like, in the villa outside of the challenges, because everyone doesn't care really who you kiss during the challenges.
Yeah.
But outside of it,
unless you're Huda.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
You defended her so hard.
For so long until last night when we watched the episode. Like, we could just talk about Jeremiah and Huda at this point. So, at first I was like, the way I saw it was they came in, they both found each other immediately, and then I was like, because they still talked to everyone else, not like pulled them for chats specifically, but you still like interact with everyone, right? So you can kind of see if, like if I was in that scenario, even though I wouldn't have pulled if I didn't pull, let's say, Amaya for a chat, I would have seen like her interactions with Ace and the rest of the group, and been like, yeah, she's not my cup of tea kind of thing. So I don't even need to pull her for a chat. So that's kind of what I saw was they were like, oh, we don't really find anyone else here like are a possible candidate for us, But
I just don't understand how you don't have a possible candidate when there's so many people that you haven't even tried to go after.
Well, because it's like, for example, let's go through the guys for Huda, right? Ace, she probably wanted someone that's taller than her.
Not Huda.
Because he's a short dude. He's like 5'5". I got beef with Ace because every second he had an opportunity to shit on Jeremiah and Huda, he would.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Before all of what happened with her, like, kind of crashing out and all that, because
he wanted to be with
Huda. Exactly, yeah. He was... So, that's the thing I've noticed about Ace is he's the kind of guy that, like, once he has the girl, he wants the next chase. He's all about the chase. And that's why he's been all in the middle of Jeremiah and Huda's shit. And because as soon as he got Amaya, he was like, nah, I'm good. And then he's like, I want Shelly. And then when he had Shelly, he's like, oh, Iris, I want to talk to her. I want to explore that, by the way. It's like, and even Shelly was like, dude, this guy, all he is about the chase.
Well, we'll see what happens with him being with Shelly again.
Yeah. Yeah, now they're
Because
actually
they're going to drop more
coupled up.
bombshells. So.
Yeah, of course. But with Huda and Jeremiah, I actually really thought that they had like a solid connection.
Let's be real. Who did you find the most attractive of the females?
That's like besides the point. Genuinely, I thought that they were the best couple at the beginning. Because like they just kind of vibed right off the bat. I liked the way like he talked about he was like okay with the idea of her having a kid. He loves kids, whole 9 yards, but he would want more.
I felt like after the kid situation came in, that a lot happened between them, and I think she got into her head more often and he got into his head, and I think that just, it's not the fact of her having a kid. I think it was just she wasn't giving him time to process the information. And
I do think too, if she started showing during the challenges like
jealousy.
yeah, and that's I think what drove him away.
The toxic control, that's the part that, like, the fact that he would make her breakfast and she would want him to make breakfast, like, be like Ace and Taylor and do special things for her. And then he tries to start doing something special for her. And then she's like, well, your pancakes were overcooked or undercooked or whatever it was.
I do kind of see that point, actually, from her. Where, like, if all the dudes are planning dates for their girl, right? Ace is doing...
Don't crap on an idea. Like, when
Fair.
he starts doing what you want.
Because he did try. It's just the pancake was undercooked. And at least he tried. But I think what she was wanting was like, hey,
him to do it.
Do a date for us. You know, like they had the water.
They were the only couple that went on an actual date.
Yeah, but that wasn't chosen by them. That was by the show giving them a date, you know?
Yeah.
She wanted him to be like Ace setting up a ping pong and pancakes thing, or something like that. Taylor set up the whole dance class thing for him and Alandria. She just wanted, which I thought was fair. I was like, okay, that's actually a valid thing. But then when it got too far, where Amaya came in, and then she was like, Iris came in, and she's like, no, like we're closed off, like that's my man, and then like gave him the hickey. And you know all that, and then then they got into...
not that when that came into play. Even Iris said it. She's like, "You're just marking your territory." And I'm like, "That's so gross."
And then after that, like when they kept getting in the fights, I was like, "Gosh, this has got to end. This is terrible." Because she would like walk across the entire thing.
So I'm gonna say one thing. It doesn't spoil anything.
I assume it continues.
So. Not the next episode. The next episode they'll show a little bit about it because it's like the right after. Do you see who gets eliminated?
Yeah, Jalen.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes home.
And did you?
They save her.
Yeah, and that's the end of it, right?
Yeah,
so you haven't seen like what happens right after.
Yeah, I mean we can tell some shit's gonna go down because he didn't vote to keep her.
Shit doesn't really hit the fan, I'm gonna be honest, so don't expect like something big blowout or anything. But not the next episode. You'll see some like what happens, but
I feel like you're gonna give a huge spoiler here.
I'm just gonna say the challenge on this episode 17, watch her face.
Alright.
Especially when it's Jalen's turn. Or Jeremiah's turn.
Yeah. Alright.
Just watch her face. I laughed so hard because I was like, that's a toxic person right there.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, she's like a really, nice lady, whole 9 yards. And then, toxic turn came out real quick when it all started genuinely when Amaya showed up with the bases thing, the bases challenge when they did that one.
Yeah.
And then Amaya came in and chose Jeremiah as like the home run.
Yeah, she got
That's when
so
she freaked
mad.
out. And then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, because she was okay when Hannah and Amaya came together, right?
Yeah.
And Hannah picked Jeremiah, but he was on the one where like they just
wasn't home run.
Yeah,
it was
and
a
then the
different base.
home run was with Amaya. But I applaud the bombshells for coming in and being like, no, like I'm going to explore this and do whatever it takes.
Oh, and then when Iris came in, and they were like locked up to the X thing.
Oh, she
she
leaned back and she's like, you can stop now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
I kind of felt bad for him because it gave off like she was very controlling.
Literally.
And I feel like he was looking for an escape, but he couldn't find it.
Iris was that option for him to escape.
And now I also do think that he messed up in a lot of ways too. I think I agree 1000% that when she was almost voted out, she was one vote away from being voted out, and then the British dude went home. He could have for sure gone and comforted her, been like, hey, like,
he should have done that 100%.
yeah, and he took responsibility for it. Now what I don't like is he takes responsibility for it, and then she goes over like on top of that and just shits on him. Like in the speakeasy.
What was your thoughts when they were all separated and then she's like, I have to go to the bathroom, and then she goes and
walks way away. Oh, and then she
sits there and listens to their conversation. I'm sorry, but it was very cringy. When that situation happened, I was like, Huda's done. She's done for me. Like, I can't. Like, you're out.
It was, especially when she walked out and was like, explore all you want or whatever. And then she like started shouting. I was getting like secondhand embarrassment because I'm like, there are a million people watching.
So who do you think is like her currently in this like house? Who do you think she's like close with? Like of the girls?
Well, I would say all the girls kept her.
They did, but of the girls, like, think about all the Jeremiah situations.
Maybe
who mainly comforted her?
Maybe like Sierra or Olandria. I would think. I don't know. I don't remember exactly who comforted her, but I feel like. Oh, Hannah, maybe, because Hannah's
always
like,
been the number
away.
one,
yeah,
like to go comfort.
Which her. I got beef with Hannah too.
Why do you got beef?
Because, right, that episode, the British dude gets voted home,
and then she gets finger blasted by Pepe.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Well, we haven't yet, but I saw an Instagram thing.
I think it's on that episode where
at night?
Maybe at night.
I don't know. I saw
they like show that split screen second, and she's getting finger blasted by him.
I saw some pretty vulgar stuff on Instagram of her and they didn't show the dude's name, so I assumed it was the British guy, and I'm like, oh, okay, and it's just so funny that they talked about the connection that they have is insane, and like, and then of course he went home, and then after that,
that's kind of like, was it last season?
Rob
with that one girl.
Yeah.
She's actually now dating a DJ. And
what was her name? Gabriella?
No, Andrea.
Oh, I don't remember who that is.
Anyway, but she's now dating someone. But
going back to this season, so I have a lot of beef with her because she was like, oh yeah, like our connection is amazing. Like everything between me and Pepe is just straight lust. There is no romantic feeling there. And then he leaves. British guy leaves. Very next episode, they go on their date, and she's like all over him, madly all about him.
But think about it. You're only a few days with this person, and it's the new shiny thing in front of you. It's the new, like, these people, they don't date, really. Like, their longest relationships, they probably have had, like, one or two.
Huda had a long relationship.
Huda's just...
But think about it. How many long relationships have we had? Just normal human beings not being on the show.
Well, I'm in my third longest because I'm married to the guy, but
yeah, exactly. I'm in my third longest.
Yeah, that's true.
Which most of those people are probably around the same. I mean, they say like in your lifetime you have 3 loves. You have your first, you have the toxic, and you have your last.
Do you think you could have ever, like, if you applied for Love Island, do you think you could have ever done it?
I don't think I fit the mold at all. I don't think I think if I'm around the dudes, I would have no problem. I could hang out with the boys for sure. I could have
done it back when we were living together. I think I could have done it at that personality type person.
I think that I would be, like I said, I would be like Austin, where I'd be awkward flirting with the ladies. And I would have trouble I think that I would just be like, I would be that guy that's stuck in a love triangle, and I'm trying to chase after this girl that's chasing after a dude, if that makes sense.
I think it probably is easier when you're in there because you get to actually talk to people, but also like, I know that production is like all like your sleep schedule is messed up, your everything is messed up. So it's definitely, I don't know, like,
I did see some things about it that are kind of unique. I didn't kind of catch it until I read about it, but it's like things that Love Island does. It's like contestants are not allowed to wear certain clothes because like they show logos or something like that. You notice a lot of them are
I think
wearing
I
very
sent you that
bland.
video where might have been you or Anna, but I sent the video of there is a guy that got picked to be and was sitting because there's 2 weeks that they sit where they're diving through all the contestants and stuff like that, and they went through his entire bag and like like put into a separate bag all of
Oh
like
wow.
his logo stuff. Like they also gave him other stuff to like put in there that they want to see them wear.
Yeah.
Because they want to make sure that they look presentable and they're not looking like they just
Yeah.
came off the streets or something like that.
Well, I saw that, and then I saw they're not allowed to drink hard liquor.
I think
They're
they drink wine.
they're allowed beer or wine, and they're only allowed 2 beverages a night.
Yeah.
And then they have Saturdays off. So I'm assuming they just chill around the villa, but they're allowed to catch up with their families, but they're not allowed to talk about the show. So I'm assuming they signed an NDA. And
Yes,
they
they do.
can't talk about their relationship status and all that. And then they're not allowed to bring, like, obviously on the show they're not allowed to smoke cigarettes or vape or anything, but there is a private zone that they're allowed to do that.
Okay.
And that stuff has to stay in that zone. So, and they can only go one at a time.
So they're not talking about like.
Yeah, so they're not just sitting, all of them sitting in this zone, vaping or whatever.
Well, and also
But-
talking. They probably try to keep them separate as much as possible.
Yeah, until they're talking. Yeah. But
Did you know in the challenges, they so like all the challenges where they have to dance and stuff, there's no music.
really?
They're literally doing it
Silent?
silent because for production, for them to have the voices and the reactions and stuff the way that they do, they
fair.
have to have it silent. So the music that gets like
I
that
guess
we
the
listen
challenge
to,
is kind of, it makes sense.
this like, music that we listen to is all added in.
It's kind of awkward. Dancing. Like, see, that's where I would not be good on the show. It's like, I would not. I was thinking about this too. Every season they do like where like the girl will come out and in like kind of like
the heart rate challenge.
yeah. I would be so bad at that. I would be the worst on that because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, think about Leia on last season. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna be really terrible at this" or something like that, and she still came out and
I think though it's different for girls and guys.
why? Because we just throw on lingerie and guys are like, "Oh my god."
I think I think exactly a guy's mind. Well, I don't know. I think that I would be so bad on that challenge because I would not know what. Especially I would end up doing the same
I'm
thing
not
to each
gonna lie.
girl.
I'm so excited to see the heart rate challenge on this one, just because of the fact that they had the leather already. The one where they were all chained.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see how that goes. I know Casa Amor is coming soon.
Oh god, that's gonna mess some stuff
I think
up.
it comes either this week or next week.
Because Ace is not gonna be loyal.
Oh,
He's gonna go wild. Like Jeremiah's probably gonna go do his thing.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think he's gonna go crazy, but like
I
if a
think-
girl pursues him, he's gonna go after it.
I think Taylor's gonna be the only one that's faithful. I'm trying to think. There's Taylor.
Maybe Pepe. Maybe, but
Maybe I could see Pepe, especially.
but he's so new that I don't have a read on the guy too well. Like on whether, because we haven't seen him interact with another chick really. I haven't seen him interact with another chick.
Just wait.
Okay, well, you just gave that away.
You're welcome. Well, it's not. I respect on that situation. I respect Pepe, the person that he's talking to.
All right,
I really hate.
Well,
just-
that's
I
clear.
don't-
It's Huda.
It's not Huda.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah, you just gave that away. Well, that sucks. No, it's okay. We're probably gonna be all caught up after today anyway.
Yeah. You only have 2 episodes. It's literally 2 hours of your life.
Yeah.
Can't believe you watched that
It's
until
like
3 a.m.
well,
last
it
night.
was like 1:30 last night, and we had watched an episode because they're long episodes, and then
Yeah, they're like an hour and a half.
my fiance looks at me. She's like, "Can we stay up and watch another episode?" And I'm like, "Sure." And that's when, yeah, it's a long episode. So then by the time that one ended, and she wanted to watch another one after that, I'm like, "It's 3 in the morning. We have to go to sleep. We have to get something done tomorrow." So, yeah, Ace, I have a huge problem with because yeah, he's never. I understand the idea of playing the show, right? Going out, exploring your options, but he would shit on Jeremiah and Huda because they weren't necessarily doing that. I just saw it the entire time of they just weren't interested in anyone else at the villa.
But okay, so I saw something on Instagram, and I kind of do. When I saw this, I kind of wish it did happen. So you remember when Huda told Nick about
Her
being a
kid,
mom?
yeah,
Honestly, I could kind of see Nick and Huda.
nah.
I think with her personality coming out now, no. But like before she had her personality, like her toxic traits came out, I was like, oh, like I could see that. I do really like Sierra for him. So it is interesting to see him like.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be faithful. I don't think in Casa Amor. I forgot about Nick and Sierra at all.
So let's talk about Nick and Sierra next episode that we decide for this. Because you need to watch the other 2 episodes and you'll see like. But also, I do feel like Love Island plays up a lot of things, so I don't know where Nick and Sierra are going right this moment.
Well, at the moment that I've seen, they obviously they chose each other for the door and all that. They kind of just chill.
I think
They don't put her on camera at
my
times.
husband had mentioned, I think it was him that said this, where they kind of are playing the safe game. They're not actually like they just picked each other. They're compatible, but I don't think they're like fully compatible.
They don't I don't think they're super about one another because
I think if they left the villa and it was the real world, they wouldn't last.
No.
And not trying to like I think they would be great friends.
That's
I just
also
don't think
why I kind of thought Jeremiah and Huda were gonna work because when they went on that water slide date, they kind of did talk about the real world, and they're like, and then he brought up to her, and he's like, "I'll move out to you."
So, and that's the thing. I think that's when Huda's like full toxic traits kid. It's like now we're in a relationship. I think her brain wired because with girls we are very like emotionally attached very quickly. More than guys are. And I do feel like we just had that conversation, so it probably clicked in her brain of
And that's what I was trying to tell like my fiance. I was like, I think that she just is not talking about the game anymore. I think this is real life shit, and she's like, this is my man. I don't want, because she's been, let's be honest, she's been closed off, right?
Yeah.
And he has been the one that's kind of like she'll ask him, she'll say, hey, like, so are you saying that we're closed off? Like almost, and then he'll be like, well, it'll take a lot to really get me away. But he never says exactly, I'm 100% closed off.
He didn't want to be closed off because I think when you go on Love Island,
I do think he felt trapped. Yeah, I think he felt trapped by.
I think when he started asking the serious questions and then the mom came out, like the mom thing, I feel he felt like, oh crap, like I don't know what to do.
I do want to say though, when after the British guy gets voted out, right? She almost got voted out.
I wish she would have got voted out.
Well, they kind of always do this thing where, right, the girls break off and talk, the guys break off and talk, right? And that's what happened right after that. They both broke off. So he didn't really have an opportunity right there to
He did have an opportunity before they went to bed.
Yeah, no, fair. I do think, but what I do kind of respect about Jeremiah was like he went to his boys. Like these are like his best buds in the villa. They hang out every day together.
Oh, and they were all talking crap on her, and he was like,
and he was defending her.
Yeah,
I kind of respect the hell out of that, and I don't think she gave him enough credit.
She also was listening. How did she turn every situation? Like he would
Against
be
him.
defending her, and she literally would go against him.
She'd be like, "You were talking to your boys. You weren't comforting me," and it's like, homie,
I was
I'm defending you. I'm yelling at my best bud Nick and being like, how are you going to tell me how to date? Right? And like, I respect that because that was kind of the first time. Because even before, when, remember, there was that episode where he was talking to all the dudes, and then they're kind of like, we just kind of think that this is, you know, being, it's not real. And he's like, wow. And then he's got like his head down. I think this was before the bombshells came in, before Iris came in.
Yeah, no, it was
and she goes up to him and she's like, what's wrong? And he's just like, nothing, I'm good. And then she pulls him way aside and is like, what's up? And then he's like, well, the guys were just saying. And then she was even like, well, did you defend me? And then the next opportunity he gets to defend her, he does that. And I commended him for that. I was like, that's kind of respectable. He went at his homies and defended his lady. And if anything, if I was her, I would feel very secure because he's willing to like...
Which I feel like because of the fact that she was doing those things, it drove him away.
I also think she probably was like royally cheated on or something like that in her past. That's why she has these toxic traits. I think something happened in her past that caused... Because it's clear like she's got some trust issues. And she's got some like... Well,
I feel like a lot of people on
issues.
Love Island they have their own issues in different ways.
No, for sure.
But we all have them in our even
of course.
Yeah.
No, of course. I just think with her specifically, like I think something's happened pretty dark in her past with...
I just want her to open up and be herself, not like I need a relationship, I need this. Like I want her to be Huda.
She needs to go back to being fun.
Yeah, I want to see. So I've seen her Instagram page and her like TikToks and stuff because they pop up quite a bit, and I want to see that side of Huda. Like I want to see like her personality. I want to see like her be her and have fun with things and not give a crap about like what other people say or do. Like stop caring about Jeremiah and just like live your life and do what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Until the show's over.
Yeah.
What I've been seeing a lot of people shit on her on the internet.
I've been seeing a lot of people shit on her like videos and stuff like that from...
I think so I saw one thing and it was like, you're telling me that leaving your child for 6 weeks isn't a walking red flag? I saw a bunch of posts like that and it's like, she's sacrificing 6 weeks, yes. But if she plays her cards right, this can turn her
and her kid's life
into millionaires.
Think about what's her face from I was gonna say Love on the Spectrum. Love is Blind. Jessie or Jessica. She has a daughter. She went on Love is Blind.
Yeah.
She was gone for longer than 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she was with yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And she's now like doing podcasts. She's like doing other shows that she's done.
And you look at like all of them. They like we had talked about that before. How on a previous episode, how like just getting onto one of those reality TV shows changes your life.
It does.
And it's like she sacrificed 6 weeks. Yes, she's away from her daughter for 6 weeks, and I'm sure that kills her every day.
It does.
But she's probably like, I'm doing this to better our lives because I'm going to take this and run with it. She owns her own business in personal training. I'm sure...
I'm not going to lie. I've seen her personal training videos on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And I'm not going to lie. You look at Huda's ass, and I'm sorry, but...
I'm sure a lot of people
she knows how to work it out.
And I'm sure a lot of people are doing exactly what you're thinking, where they're like, holy shit, like I can look like that if I just go, work out with her, or she trains me how to get like that. And she just promoted her brand. Boom. She, even if she doesn't, I'm sure she'll do the podcast route too, like where she goes, joins podcasts, makes money that way, goes on the talk shows.
Well, and Jessica, a lot of things that I see with hers, she includes her daughter in a lot of things now.
Yeah.
She, like, if she goes on other TV shows, she doesn't include her daughter.
Yeah, of course.
But
TikToks, all that.
The TikToks and stuff. Like, I just saw this I think it was 15 or 16 for her birthday party. And it was so adorable. Even like when Jessica went out for her birthday, she had her daughter included, and the pictures were so cute, and like their Christmas photos and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute.
And that's what I was
That's where
thinking.
people judge, and like, and I understand, like, leaving your kid, it's very hard. Well, I don't understand because I don't have my own kid, but leaving your kid for so long, I definitely see, like, that is really rough. I definitely said, why would you come onto a Love Island show and have a daughter or a kid? I did say that, and then thinking back when I see her videos and stuff like that, I'm like, honestly, like, this is her livelihood. This is like what she's doing. Because thinking about it, they're all around our age. This is the time when people, or younger, yeah. This is the time when people start having kids and starting families and stuff like that, even if they don't have a significant other.
She had that kid too. She had her daughter when she was like 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that she has been able to give her daughter, right? She said she owns a 2-bed, 1-bath house. You know, she's able to own her own business and whole lot. Like, I don't think a lot of people give her enough credit for that too.
No.
Of like, she is a single mom who literally like is taking care of her daughter, on top of that owning a house, on top of that owning her own business. Like, it's not easy. And then yeah, she's like, I have this opportunity here to not only possibly find a man who could be a great father for the daughter, but also give my daughter all this ample opportunity and, you know,
To provide her a better future. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, she's kind of blowing up on the show, you know.
But honestly, people that
But that'll draw clicks.
I was gonna say, people that get taken as like a villain or as 90% of the time, they are the most followed people of the people.
Leah was
Literally, Leah
she
was like
kind of a villain.
either everybody hated her or loved her.
Yeah, and now she, like, I see, because we watch on Peacock, obviously, every time a commercial pops up, it's like she did the...
Oh, you have commercials?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Relax. But it's like, it's Love Island commercials. So it's a tequila brand that pops up and she's getting served a margarita, or it's a cell phone, you know, ad.
I can't wait until their
the reunion thing?
reunion thing comes
Yeah,
out from
I was
Miami.
just talking to my fiance, she's super excited about that too. And I was like, yeah, we'll watch it.
I saw
It does look
one
drama
of the trailer clip. Oh my God. So the scene that everybody was talking about on Kaylor and
yeah, whatever his name is.
Olivia, no, or Liv. Sorry,
Oh.
Liv and Kaylor fighting,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden the clip they show is over spray tans and getting ready. I was like, that's so stupid of a fight.
I saw her and the dude she was with.
Aaron.
Yeah, they were like yelling at each other.
I also saw that apparently I want to see more, and these are just the trailer clips that they do. But she had asked him if he had slept with anyone else since the last time they slept, and he said no.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not true. I was surprised that Leah and what was his name?
Miguel?
Yeah, that they're still together.
They, in the trailer clips, show that
They're living together,
and a baby gets delivered to them. The fake babies that like from health class.
Yeah. And then like they own horses together. I mean, she came from a lot of money. It's clear.
Yeah.
She's like, what'd she say? She's like Peruvian or something like that.
That I don't know. I just know that she said that her parents have like millions.
And she lives on a ranch.
Yeah.
And I was like, and now of course she's famous, so she's making even more money. But yeah, I mean, good for them. I was kind of shocked. He went on a what?
Janaea and Kenny, and they don't live together.
Are they together still?
They're still together.
They just don't live together? I mean,
literally,
that's fair.
the clip shows, and again, this is all just like trailer snippets of the clip shows that Kenny and her talking, and he goes, well, I just need space, and she goes, well, I'm the one that wants us to like to move in, and he goes, but I need space from you.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And I'm like, oop. If my husband ever said that, I would turn to him and say, okay, let's get 2 houses, and you and me can... No.
Well, that's what happens on... I mean, I don't know too much about the show, but The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or whatever.
With
the I don't know, the blonde dude and his girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, well, I think we should keep the Arizona house also, and you can live there.
Well, they're also going through a lot of
Yeah.
issues that they need to work out. But also, the more that I've been seeing this new season, the more because I thought it was always his fault, but the more after us watching that one episode of Demi, Jesse, and him talking, I was like, oh, I think.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen too much, but I watched those few episodes with you and my fiance. And what I will say is, those ladies are all toxic. Like, they all stir up drama for one another. Like, if your like best friend's husband is clearly having an issue with you and the stripper thing, and then you set up like a Halloween thing, then and you set up the Halloween thing with the strippers, then I think that's a huge problem. You should not be getting in between your best friend and the husband kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Excuse me, we are filming a podcast
I know.
here.
I'm trying to get something taken care of.
Well, if you wait like 15 minutes, then we're going to be done with this podcast.
No.
But
yeah, I can wait.
Yeah, I think if you get in between your best friend and husband, because they did that whole stripper thing at
That's them being petty and toxic. Yeah,
that's where I kind of side with him a little bit, where it's like,
that's where I would side with him on that part.
Now, yeah, he needs to get out of his head. I understand he was raised
also,
a certain way.
I'm sorry, when I go and talk to my best friend about like my issues with my husband, or like actually I really don't do that, but I mean like for example, when I talk to you and your fiance about my relationship, because that's who I do it the most with, I don't ever expect it to be like where it's taken as like he's a horrible person or something, but I also don't do it how she does it, where it's, oh my God, like he did this and he's toxic, he's that way.
Yeah, no, if you're shitting on your significant other, like if you're just constantly
I get annoyed.
But no,
with them.
yeah, if you're just venting about your problems, that's okay to like air those out and get them out, because honestly, like the friends are supposed to be there to give feedback and being like, well, you're in the wrong here and he's in the wrong here, you guys just need to talk it out, you'll be all right. Or but taking it a step further and those friends actually implementing action. That's where, like, if I was him, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, I'm not going to be around this. This is toxic. This is stupid. I understand you guys are trying to get some clicks for the show and whole 9 yards. And that's probably what they're talking about. I want to know, like, how much, I don't know. That show itself.
Well, also the fact that she went with it, too. Where they were like, oh, after they had a blow up fight, and then
it's strange.
It's very strange, because if I was at someone's house and we just got into a fight, which first you wouldn't catch me dead at someone else's house when I got into a fight with them. I'm so squawkward that just would not happen. But if they pulled me into a chair and it's like, oh, this is a special thing for Jen, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, she tried, but she does need to be like, no, guys, like, someone else take this seat.
I feel like she wanted to see what her husband would do.
Yeah, but that's just not the place to do it, Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember his name.
Sean?
I know his last name is Affleck.
Yeah. Alex? No.
Is it Zach?
I think you're right. I think it is Zach. I don't remember.
What's the famous Affleck?
Ben
Affleck. Yeah, it's Zach Affleck then.
Yeah. Yeah, that show.
And the fact that Jessie and her husband dressed up as Ben and J-Lo.
Like, they're being petty. Like, they knew that was going to bother them.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But that show I do have a problem with, because it does feel like a lot of their drama is staged. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, like, what is this girl doing? Like, we're beefing. And then it's like...
The fact that Whitney came back.
Yeah.
I was like...
That, and then, yeah, you're like, oh, we hate this girl whole 9 yards, but we're going to chill with her at this sober party thing, this happy hour party. And then same thing with the other chick, Miranda or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
When they're
I
like,
give
we don't like her.
I give what's her face so much respect when she said that she was like, "So what are you inviting us over here for?" Like, I feel like this is just a ploy.
That's the thing though. It's like you say that, but why did you go in the first place? Like if you all don't like her, why even show up?
Well, I do understand where she's coming from because she said I'm going. It says right before they show up that I'm going to ask Miranda to see why she like what her point is to
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I don't know. With that show, I just am like, I feel like a lot of this is just stage drama.
It probably is, or it's not because girls are sometimes full of drama.
Fair, fair. Well, we can end this on playing a game of. This game's a little different than what we've ever done, but I'm gonna think of an object in my head, and then you're going to say an object, for example. So let's use this as an example. If my object is chair, right, and then you were to say house, I'm gonna give you a number on a scale of 1 to 10, or 1 to 100. And your goal is to get to 100 and to get to my word. So if you were to say house and my word is chair, then I would go with like
85.
85. Yeah, exactly. And then you'd be like, bedroom. And then I might be like, 78. You know, you're still in the same ballpark, but yeah, we'll do that. So would you like to have the object or would you like to guess
I'll
objects?
guess the word,
Okay.
the object.
So let me think of an object. Okay. I have an object. So now you just guess anything you kind of can.
Office.
Ooh, 90.
Stapler.
91.
Computer.
89.
Pencil.
100. See? There we go. All right, now let's do it the other way around.
Okay.
So you think of an object, and I will... I was shocked that you chose office right off the bat. I'm like, damn, well, this will be over quick.
Okay.
All right. Bedroom.
65.
Okay. House.
88.
Ooh. Roof.
75.
Okay. Kitchen.
86.
Okay, 88 was house, 86 kitchen, so it's close to the kitchen. Washing machine.
56.
Okay, all right. Backyard.
99.
Oh shit. Okay. 99 backyard. Grass?
89.
Okay. 99 backyard. Fence?
This is so hard. I picked the hardest one. 85.
Okay. Dog?
That's like 70 something.
Okay. So backyard 99. Grill.
75.
Ah, damn. Okay, I'm getting close. I'm 99 backyard, so I'm going away. Something in the backyard. It's like sliding door.
72.
Okay. Tree.
95.
Oh my god, I'm so close. Is it just as simple as a leaf?
99.
What? Is it plant?
100.
Okay. Well, god damn. All right. Well, we thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe for more future videos. And comment down below how you guys are feeling about the Love Island season. So without further ado, this has been another Sibling Shenanigan episode, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.